So our current topic is about nematodes. So the topic heading is hidden and dangerous. What does that mean is this is a problem which is mostly in the soil, and it is seen as a when plant gets died away. So it is mostly hidden and it is very dangerous. So we'll discuss that in our course of this presentation, and what we as a company are trying to manage it. So this is a little bit about myself, that what I'm doing from last few years. I started in 2003 in the agriculture sector, and we established a manufacturing unit in Faridabad for neem-based products. For that, we started discussion with many agrochemical companies and urea manufacturing companies. And now what we see as a neem-coated urea, it has been started by the government plans, but it got its major success when we entered and we solved the problems, major bottlenecks in the neem-coated urea. Similarly, we did with many big companies in the world, that is Agan Chemical, which is known as Adama right now, Nepal's largest group. Similarly, like many areas we traveled, we worked about, and we learned many things in that way. But after certain period of our doing business, maybe from 2003 till 6, 7, 4, 5 years down the line, it came into the highlight that problems are getting more and more. The major point of concern is that problems are not reducing despite so many efforts. So many companies are having so much of different products, so much of good claims, kind of. So to understand this problem, why it is increasing, why it is not getting solved, we established Huntin Organics in 2008. And we did fundamental work. Fundamental work means that we really did our lot of work at a ground level. Lot of discussion with the thousands and thousands of scientists. We came to know about one thing, that every problem has a unique character. And it cannot be solved by saying one word, that spray this, use this. So to see that problem as a bigger challenge coming up, we made very basic fundamental steps towards that direction. And now we can say from last 13, 14 or 15 years of journey of Huntin Organics, and mine total 20 years about that, yes, we can say with the pride that we can really solve these problems if we say everything holistically and see. So our major and only goal should be and will be that solutions to end the problem. First of all, we have to solve the problem. Then also, because farming is an activity which is a business activity. It is not a human kind of activity that, for example, if some illness go catch me, I may spend more money than what I have by borrowing with the other people. But in farming, it is a business activity, so that any activity which is done for the business enterprises, it has to be profitable. So solution is just one part, and it has to be economical. So our total suggestion and target is that solution to end the problem with minimum investments and maximum profits to the end users and the farmers, the business owners of the farm. Just not able to. Okay. And what is the purpose of our discussion is to find out the sure shot solution to nematodes, whether it is curative, whether it is preventive, and to what? To the farmers. Why do farmers need solution? It's very, very simple. Farming is a business activity. So if there are less problems, there will be more profits. I have just mentioned one crop example, tomato. If there are less problems in a tomato crop, the profit of the farmer will be more. So our point should always be focused on the profitability. It is a business activity. These are some of the photographs that we have captured from the online and trying to showcase. Actually, this is known to many people, but still we have collaborated many photographs to showcase what kind of problems we can see in many crops like potatoes, carrot, soybean, tomatoes, okra, corn, strawberries, pomegranate. Now, there is a data available online. It is very horrible to see how much losses to the business community. Business community means the farmers. Farmers are the basic business owners of the farmland, and they are producing the basic fundamental business of putting up the inputs and getting the output as a crop. Right now, this data shows that about 10 lakh crores of losses are reported in a year just by this single problem. This is nematodes. And the source is mentioned over here, that it is mentioned in a publication. And one interesting fact about nematodes is, if you see this graph, 1950, we think that the research for nematodes related research has been started, done. Till 1990, it is very minuscule, small research of publication done. But once you see the graph, it is on the about 70-80 degree inclined.
Nematode limiting.
The problem is so humongous, so big, that so much of research and publications are going up only for this particular problem. So that is why we mentioned this heading as hidden and dangerous. Up till 1990, there were about 100 of publications only in last 45-50 years. But in last 10-20 years, it has been thousands of publications coming up. This is also another graph showing country-wise and problem of the crop-wise. For example, tomato in US is having the biggest problem. Soybean has the biggest problem. Potato in many countries has coming up with the biggest problem. Like in India also, if you travel anywhere in India, most of the problem in potato is due to nematodes. Wheat, which is not known to be too much in India, but still it is coming up in many countries, like temperate conditions in Europe and all. This is a small statistics from India also, that just by one root knot nematode, there has been expected or approximate loss estimated is 10,000 crores in India. And that has been distributed in 2-3 crops like okra, citrus, banana, tomato. There are many losses which are not estimated because it may not be in statistics that has come in. Major problems has been highlighted over here in statistics. The point here is nematodes are coming up from the last 30 years, and their problem is ever increasing every year, and the losses to us, to the society, to the economy is coming up in a big challenge. What will happen ultimately if the farmer is getting lost because of nematode? Ultimately, as a consumer, we will be getting higher price for the output. We have to pay higher price for the tomatoes, okra, because the farmer is going losses. Also, because of nematodes, the quality of the produce will not be that good. That will be good for the health also. This is kind of distribution of the location-wise nematode in particular locations: Haryana, Punjab, Himachal, some part of Gujarat, some part of Karnataka, then Kerala.
अरे देखिए ना बात कर रहे हैं.
Now this is our point of concern. What we should think. So just think. Problem never arises all of a sudden, but accumulated over the years. This is very, very important to understand that once we see any problem of nematode and the damage it causes to the plant, we think that it has come up just now. The problem is not coming up just now. It is showing its negative effect, economical negative effect now. Point is, might be from the last 10 years, there has been plant parasitic nematodes in the soil, but economic losses was not that much that it should be concerned about. Now, what does that mean is, now the problem is there, so it has to be solved, and it has to be solved economically. There are thousands of farmers, universities, research scientists trying to solve the problem. But till the time we find a solution, we are always trapped in another problem. What happens when we go for any single product, any chemical products? We think that, yes, we have been able to kill a particular nematode. But another problem comes because of that, that it has a specific character that it causes resistance. Another reason is nematodes are mostly in the soil. When any chemical is applied in the soil, testing can be done in a controlled manner. But in the soil, the texture, the chemical composition of the soil, the water bonding, salts in the soil, when any chemical is applied, it does not behave the same as it behaves in the water only. So that also does not make the purpose of using chemicals to control the nematodes. New research on billion-dollar chemicals are spent to make better product to control. Yes, they are very effective, but for how long is the question. Question again is coming to the societies. This particular product of any company, it might be a very big company. It might be a solution, looks to be a solution. But because that problem is never solved, it again come up in a bigger way. The reason is they are very selective. Very selective means they are only killing a particular problem, but then not solving the problem. They're just hiding the problem, bigger issues. Now, this is what we are trying to solve is, now what is the solution now? These are some of the general recommendations, or maybe not cost intensive recommendation. For example, if anybody says that Nitin, do yoga, it will be helpful for you. It is like that. If farmer or end user, the grower, follow these basic things first, might be he will not get that much of losses that he is getting right now. First of the solution we generally see is water logging. So aeration in the soil is utmost important for any crop to survive, to get the maximum nutrition out of it, because the plant is a living being kind of, so it needs oxygen for transportation of nutrition and all. The organic matter, it is not considered that essential right now with the farmers, but it is very important. The reason is organic matter behaves like a prebiotic, or on that matter only the function of all the bacteria and biology works. There can be one more very positive thing we can do is we can fumigate the soil with fumigation, so that we can eliminate all the nematodes in the soil for once, and then we can go for the preventive applications of the recommended products. Then there is also one very easy thing what farmer can do is crop rotation. For example, if potato is coming up in the same plot again and again, and it is causing severe damage to the nematodes, it might think that farmer must be able to see that if I put wheat in that place, or maybe the crop which is not a good host for the nematode, that might help in breaking the cycle of the nematode over there, because nematode will die on hunger. The last is use of favorable good bacteria and fungus which are helpful for controlling the nematodes. These are few of the things that a general farmer, if follows these things, might be the most economical way of doing things. He can understand later on. Now, what the farmer need is a solution. What we have recommended is just like that. Farmer say that yes, I have heard you many times, but still I need a product that will solve my problem. The point here is, now what is the solution? We mentioned this, these are the solutions. But if as a farmer, as an end user, as a grower, he needs a right product. So for example, if favorable fungus, bacteria, he needs to find out in the market, he's not that literate, or it is not that very easily available to the farmers so that he can use them and get the solution out of it. So again, the question again repeats that now what farmer need is the solution. When a farmer asks for solution, there are some list of requirements a farmer or a end user always asks for. If anybody says that you should drink A2 milk, so similarly, I will ask one thing as an end user, that whether it is available easily to my neighborhood. Similarly, farmer, whenever we say that use this product, so he will always ask first question, it is available or not, easily available or not. Then next question is, yes, it is available. Then how to use it? It should be easy to use it. It should not be cumbersome, or it should not be economically unviable. Then third point is, I'm doing X, Y, Z practices in the crop. If I use your product or any product, will it interfere with my practices? If it does not interfere with my practices, then it is easy for me to use the product again and again. Fourth one is, farmer can be of any area. For example, if we see the graph of the India, Rajasthan, it is having severe heat problem. There are some areas in India which is having very high rainfall. Some areas are hilly areas. Some areas are temperate, kind of like in Shimla, the top of India, north of India. So farmer can ask that if the product is working in particular area, will it work in my area? Will it work in my soil type? Will it work in my weather conditions? So these are the questions that a farmer always asks. He needs solution, but he always looks for another things also. Then if a consultant, if any guidance to the farmer or dealer or any company, if he says that I have a solution, but you have to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kind of products in rotation, one after the other, something like this, he gets discouraged because he want to use the product, but because of so much of issues, how to use it, he always looks and strive that if I get a single product that has all the combination permutations, all the easiness, it will be easy for me to use the product so that I get the solution very easily. Now, all these things is our purpose. Why Huntin, what Huntin is doing. Now, Huntin is doing one thing. So many of research, so many of activities has been done with many research people, collecting all the data, collecting all the research, making it easy for the farmers so that ultimately he gets the solution. It is not just to sell the product. Huntin has been trying to do that again and again from the last 15 years, from the inception of the company. But the research background is more than that, because we have accumulated the research, people, those have done in the lab scale, in the field scale, at the product level, formulation level, and that has been applied in the conditions, local conditions, without bias. All the research, whatever we have done till now, it is unbiased. It is done in open conditions. It is done in a farmer-friendly conditions, so that if the results comes in the normal way of doing what farmer is doing, then actually the product can be used by the farmers as a solution. And we came up with the product that is, we have made the name is Nematode. Matlab nematodes ka tod. Tod means the end of the nematode. The Hindi translation of nematode is generally known as Sutrakrimi. Sutrakrimi means it is very microscopic in nature. when you see nematode, you cannot see by the naked eyes. So that is why its name has been mentioned as, इसका नाम इसीलिए सूत्रकृमि रखा गया है कि ये छोटी आंखों से मतलब माइक्रोस्कोप से ही देख सकते हो, और इसका नाम हमने नेमाटोड्स को मारने के हिसाब से नेमाटोड रखा है। अगर आप देखेंगे तो हमने नेमाटोड वो दिखाया है, सामने जो देख रहे हो ब्रांड में, उसमें नेमाटोड का ही दिखाते हुए तोड़ के दिखाया हो। What is nematode? Nematode is having multiple things, multiple entomopathogenic fungus. When we say, or when anybody says entomopathogenic, it means that it is favorable for the soil. It has been tested for the safety for the human beings. It is safe for the predators. It is safe for the plants, and it is against the negative fungus, bacteria, or nematodes, or pest. So there are multiple strains, and there are number of biological fungus-based products that is called entomopathogenic fungus. It is having multiple, means it is in more than one PGPR, plant growth promoting rhizobacterial combination. This is a combination. What we have made is, if we give one product, or if we give two products, or if we give three products, ultimately what we have discussed now is farmer need easy to use and a solution. If anything of that does not matches, it is not a solution to the farmers. And that has been synergized. Synergize means that we have X fuel, Y fuel, and if we put Z fuel in that, it multiplies their effectiveness. So it has been synergizes with the nanopolymers. What does all these do? They control all the stages of nematodes. Now, there is one point is, nematode itself seems to be one problem, but it is a combination of many problems, and it creates many problems also. For example, when we say nematodes, nobody specifies whether it is eggs or infective juvenile. Infective juvenile is the adult of the nematode, which we show in the as a like small nematode. It is infective juvenile, which is called IJ also. There is egg which makes the infective juvenile afterwards. It is a cycle. Also, it is not mentioned that much that infective juvenile, when it puncture, just like when any car tire or any scooter or two-wheeler tire get punctured, what happens? Similarly, when a skin is ruptured, or when any skin or roots is ruptured or infected by nematode, it gets a scar, it gets damaged, and on that damage, there is a 99% chance of multiplying in negative fungus, because root first defense mechanism of a layer is broken down. Nematode itself has gone inside the root system. That is one major drawback of nematodes. Secondary negative is that when it punctures, there is a chance of coming up the fungus like fusarium. And what happens together is eggs of the nematodes, infective juvenile of the nematodes, and fusarium. All these three combinations make plant so unwell that it dies very fast. And all these things are taken into control when we use multiple entomopathogenic fungus, multiple bacterial combinations, and nanopolymers. What it does is that it controls the egg stages of the nematodes. It controls the infective juvenile stages of the or adult stages of the nematodes. It also controls the fusarium caused by nematodes or is there already present in the soil. It also makes new root system to the plants. Just like in human beings, when there is a blockage in the heart or arteries, doctor suggests that we cannot do the repair of the we cannot do the stunt, and then it has to be done by the bypass surgery. So we have done all these things in combination so that farmer or end user does not misses out his crop. So that is why we mentioned the first company to have a holistic approach and result oriented formulation. Point here is, it is not just a single product, it is a holistic solution for a particular big problem and secondary problems coming out of that big problem. Now, what is so unique about Huntin also? We have a product in biological plus this combination. We have a spore form technology with the highest shelf life with minimum 4 years. What does that mean? In general, farmer or the channel partners, dealers, distributors, whosoever sells the product or whosoever use the product. For example, if anybody buys one piece of 1 liter and if he uses half a liter of that, he always get in trouble because of the shelf life. Because biological products are known to be very, very sensitive to the temperatures and climatic conditions, which as a company also has been taken care in Huntin. All the products that we make are of spore form technology. Essentially, what does spore mean is, it is the dormant stage of a bacteria or a fungus. Dormant means it is a seed form of the plant. So it is protected for many years, and we have been able to test 6-7 years old samples of our own as a control sample, and it has been showing same results or similar results of the fresh samples. We have already tested in many polyhouses for effective use against nematodes like in pomegranate, okra, tomatoes, cucumber, potatoes, and etc. It has also been noticed that new white roots and growth promoting features comes with the use of our products. So it causes stress-free plants and increase the productivity. And same thing, we are trying and striving to improve further. It is always in a process. That research is never an ending process. It is just a start of the process. Again, the uniqueness is for the farmers and end users, it can be used with the insecticides. It can be used with the fertilizers. It can be used in as he wants to use it. This is the general what we recommend as a dosage. If it is a perennial crop, for example, pomegranate, for example, any tree-based crop, annual crop, it has to be used every month in the soil. It can be by drenching near to the root zone. It can be by drip irrigation. It can be by flood irrigation. Or for the smaller crop, like for example, if the crop is of watermelon, of cucurbit like cucumber, the duration is small. We suggest to use it in 15 days interval. We always insist and try to convey our message that this has to be used again and again because it is a biological system. If we don't use our biological weapon, for example, if we don't use nematode, the negative nematodes or Sutrakrimi, they will multiply again because it is a nature's systems and management. We cannot eliminate anything, but yes, we can control and protect our crop. So this is a business activity. We want to protect our crop to get our profits out of it. This is small video what we have made in about 10 days back at a farmer's place. With the due permission from the host, I can play this video.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is a small video that we have made for end users to understand. This is maybe in Hindi, and we may uploaded that on our YouTube channel. You can see that.
इसमें क्या इशू है?
नेमाटोड का इशू है ओकरा। हाँ, तो अभी इसके लिए हमने जो हंटिन का अपना आता है नेमाटोड करके जो प्रोडक्ट, उसका हमने एप्लीकेशन किया है। ये नेमाटोड देने के बाद ये फ्रेश रूट का फॉर्मेशन चालू हो गया है, जैसे कि ये गांठें बन गई है, यहाँ पे देख सकते हो आप। इसमें भी नेमाटोड का इशू है, फिर भी प्रोडक्शन चालू है प्लांट में। नमस्कार मित्रों, मैं डॉक्टर उत्सव पटेल और मेरे साथ आज सुरेश भाई पटेल है यहाँ पे, मोटा चेखला गांव के हैं और जो तलोद तालुका में पड़ता है, साबरकांठा डिस्ट्रिक्ट में। सुरेश भाई, आपके यहाँ पे जो भिंडा का प्लॉट है ओकरा का, उसमें क्या बीमारी थी?
उसमें पूरी तरह निमाटोड आ गया था और प्लांट
हाँ।
है वो विकसित नहीं हो रहा है।
हाँ, पीला पड़ रहा था और कोई ऊपर से विकास नहीं हो रहा था, प्लांट
नहीं हो रहा था, नहीं,
क्योंकि ये जैसे कि ये रूट का ब्लॉकेज हो गया था तो कोई विकास नहीं हो रहा था। तो इसके लिए आपने क्या ट्रीटमेंट किया था?
इसलिए मैंने डॉक्टर उत्सव पटेल का कांटेक्ट किया और उसने मुझे नेमाटोड की जो दवाई है वो ड्रिप में चढ़ाने के लिए ये दी है। उसमें मैंने 2 बार एप्लीकेशन दी है और इस आप देख सकते हैं कि नए जो रूट है वो चालू हो गए हैं,
नया रूट का फॉर्मेशन चालू है
और प्लांट के छोड़ भी है।
हाँ।
उसमें भी चेंजेस आ गया है।
हाँ, उसके ऊपर देखो, ये नीचे इतना ब्लॉकेज है फिर भी ऊपर आप देख सकते हो कि ओकरा का कितना फ्लावरिंग लगा हुआ है ऊपर, और प्लांट में प्रोडक्शन अभी भी चालू है। तो मतलब यहाँ पे नेमाटोड की वजह से फार्मर को कम्प्लीटली सॉल्यूशन मिलता है जो नेमाटोड की एप्लीकेशन करते हैं। अगर प्रिवेंटिव में चलेंगे तो 100% आने के चांस नहीं है, पर समझ लो कि आ जाने के बाद भी आपको एप्लीकेशन करना है तो कर सकते हो, फिर भी प्रोडक्शन चालू है यहाँ पे।
और यहाँ पे कितनी एप्लीकेशन हुई है?
यहाँ पे 15 दिन के इंटरवल पे 2 एप्लीकेशन हुआ है।
मतलब महीने में 2 एप्लीकेशन?
हाँ, महीने में 2 एप्लीकेशन किया है और अभी और जाएगा, और प्रोडक्शन आना बाकी है अभी ओकरा के प्लॉट के अंदर, तो और ट्रीटमेंट करना है अभी, क्योंकि नेक्स्ट क्रॉप जो आने वाला है उसमें कोई दिक्कत ना है। इसके प्रिवेंटिव के लिए अभी से एप्लीकेशन करना है।
तो यहाँ पे आमतौर पे निमाटोड की प्रॉब्लम रहती है?
नहीं, इस खेत में ही प्रॉब्लम आई है।
हाँ।
और इसलिए हमने इसको ट्राई किया है और इसका रिजल्ट बहुत अच्छा दिख रहा है।
हाँ।
थैंक यू।
नमस्कार.
नमस्ते.
This is
तुमचं
another
नाव आणि
video.
पत्ता सांगा.
मी दिनकर विजय देवरे.
This is another video of, I specify one thing. First video was of okra. This video is of guava. There is a special variety in India which is introduced by VNR company. And this farmer came to us last year and he was totally vanished. The plot was totally almost zero, 5-acre plot, and he was running losses. Somebody told the farmer that if you meet any of the representative of Huntin team, you might get a solution. And this is a video after few months of using our product, and he's sharing his experience.
राहणार ठेंगोडा,
हा.
बागलाण तालुक्यात राहतो.
बर.
मी 2.5 वर्ष झालं हे पेरूची बाग लावली होती.
बर, पेरूची बाग लावली होती.
हा, VNR हे VNR पेरू आहे.
हा, VNR पेरू आहे.
हा, नंतर मागच्या वर्षी पेरूची बाग धरताना
हा.
मला पावसाळ्यात खूप प्रॉब्लेम आले.
बर.
पावसाळ्यात माझ्या बागेला निमॅटोडचा खूप मोठा प्रॉब्लेम आला. त्यावेळेस मी वेलम प्राईम यूज केलं, पण त्याचा खूप काही फायदा झाला नाही. त्याच्यानंतर परत दुसरं एक केमिकलच निमॅटोड साठी वापरलं, पण त्याचा बी काही इफेक्ट जाणवला नाही. आमच्या एका पांडुर्लीच्या मित्रांनी मला निर्मल साहेबांचा नंबर दिला, त्यांना भेटलो. त्यांनी हंटिन ऑर्गॅनिकचं मला निमॅटोडचं सांगितलं, असं असं वापरा आणि त्याच्याबरोबर सीड ग्रो वापरा, तर असा असा फरक पडेल, असं असं होईल. मी सलग 3 महिने वापरल्यानंतर 4थ्या महिन्यात माझा बाग निमॅटोड पासून जरा बराच मुक्त झाला. त्यावेळेची बागाची परिस्थिती आणि आजची परिस्थिती आज डोळ्यासमोर आहे. वेळोवेळ आणि आता इथून पुढे दर महिन्याला मी निमॅटोड साठी हंटी ऑर्गॅनिकच वापरतो.
म्हणजे दर महिन्याला तुम्ही सीड ग्रो आणि निमाटोड चालू आहे.
हो.
आणि आता ही ट्रीटमेंट तुम्ही कंटिन्युअस वापरणार?
कंटिन्युअस वापरायची आहे. त्याच्यामुळे आता या वर्षी तर बरेच त्यांचे बाकीचे प्रॉडक्ट पण मी आता यूज करतो आहे. आणि त्यांच्याकडून मी टरबूज साठी मर रोग येऊ नये म्हणून,
मर आणि व्हायरस
येऊ नये म्हणून त्यांनी मला डिस्नेल सॉइल आणि सीड ग्रोचा वापर करायला सांगितला होता. त्याच्यामुळे मर पण आले नाही आणि व्हायरस पण आला नाही. चांगले निघाले.
म्हणजे तुम्ही पूर्वी डाळिंब पण लावले होते.
हो.
पण तुमचा काय अनुभव आहे, मर साठी आणि निमाटोड साठी केमिकल औषध उपयोगी ठरू शकतं का?
नाही पूर्वी मी 2 वेळा डाळिंब लावून 4 वर्षात काढून टाकलेत. मर आणि तेल्यासाठी भरपूर प्रयत्न केले पण काही उपयोग झाला नाही. मग आणि
नाही म्हणजे याचा अर्थ निमॅटोड आणि मर साठी केमिकल औषध काही कामाची
नाही, निमॅटोड साठी आणि याच्यासाठी केमिकल तर अजिबात काम देत नाही. आता मी जवळजवळ म्हणजे नोव्हेंबर महिन्यापासून जमिनीत कोणत्याही प्रकारचे केमिकल देत नाही. आता सध्या हेच सर्व प्रॉडक्ट वापरून राहिलो. त्यांचा रिझल्ट मला चांगला आला. मी आमच्या बरेच मित्रांना पण तसं सांगितलं. त्यांनी पण सॉइल आणि बंपर
व्यवस्थित तुमची हंटिंगची योग्य ट्रीटमेंट
चालू आहे.
आता एकदम समाधानकारक.
हो समाधानकारक आहे एकदम.
आणि 2.5 वर्षात या 5 एकरासाठी तुमचा किती खर्च झाला होता?
आता ते
सगळा
आम्ही जवळजवळ सुरुवातीपासून जर धरला की केमिकल आम्ही जवळजवळ 3-1 लाख रुपये खर्च केले होते. आता काय नाही, हे मला वाटतं एकरी काय फक्त 250 रुपयाचं हे लागतं.
300 रुपये
सॉइल एवढंच लागतं फक्त. आतापर्यंत नोव्हेंबर पासून तर आतापर्यंत माझ्या माहितीनुसार 50,000 रुपयाचे वापरले. म्हणजे आणून पण ठेवले, अजून काही आहेत बाकी अजून वापरायचे. सीताफळीला पण वापरतोय आता मी.
आता इथून पुढे तुम्ही जेवढे पण पिकं लावशाल त्याला सगळं हंटिन ऑर्गॅनिकचं वापरणार.
येस सर.
ओके धन्यवाद.
थँक्यू.
So this is a story that is told in Marathi. The farmer says that he was totally disappointed with what he was doing. He was using all the chemicals. Now he is thinking that if I don't get the sorry, just a minute. If I don't get the solution, then ultimately his crop will die. So ultimately, once he started using holistically everything, he does not need to spend too much of money. And this plot was totally brown. It was about to die. And this farmer has asked all his friends that don't go for the expensive products, don't go for the chemicals. They are marketing and branding. They're not solving the problem. That is why the problem is increasing. So we as a company, we as an individual always think in one way only. Problem must be solved. And if the problem has to be solved, it has to be solved economically and holistically. So we have just tried to share 2 of the videos. And if anybody is interested, they can go for our YouTube channel, Huntin Organics Pvt.Ltd on the YouTube and watch our videos. So what next is that nematode problem in each and every crop can be solved. So why to think so much? Let's solve this by using nematode and just be free. Thank you very much for everyone to listen and give your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for a wonderful presentation. I'll take up the questions from the participants now. In the meantime, can you please stop sharing the screen, sir, so that we can see your full video?
Do that. Just stop share. Stop video. Stop. Just a minute. How to stop? Pause.
You have a red button in the top.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
I'll move on to the questions now, sir. The first question is, as the MD of your company, what are your worries and concerns?
The only concern is the message to the farmer level or to the channel. It is not getting in that same language that we want to convey to the end users. For example, if I am saying anything or if I'm trying to solve a problem, everybody should think in that way so that farmer can understand well. The farmers are not able to understand because most of the sales people, they are in hurry. They want to sell the product rather than they want to solve the problem. This is my major worrisome, that everybody is doing fast activities. They are not doing the fundamental activities. Yes.
Okay. In what is your product different from what is available in the market?
I have tried to mention many things in that. First is chemical, for example, like farmer has mentioned one chemical, I should not name it, but it is from the biggest company in the world, and it is promoted very well in the world, but still the farmer is not able to solve the problem. And our product is to solve the problem, plus in the same domain that many companies are claiming that we are selling this item, this item, this item. They're not taking into consideration of all the issues of the farmer. They're just making the product and selling them. The product making is not easy. It is very, very tedious activity, and it requires lot of research, and all the parameters has to be controlled till the farmer uses it. So that is what we feel, that as a company, we have tried to showcase our technology. We have tried to showcase our vision. We have tried to showcase that what we can do. I think this is simple answer we have tried to give in the presentation also.
Okay. And move on to the next question, sir. Organic farming input supply is a crowded market. How do you go about marketing?
We, as a company, never says that we are an organic company. First of all, we are a problem-solving company. Whether it is any farmer, if he is doing organic farming, then our products are very much suitable for him or her. That means our products are by nature organic, but it can go in the mainstream. It is using in the mainstream against every chemical, against every company, against every brand. So we are not in any crowd. We are just solving the problem which nobody is solving right now.
Okay. The next question is, aren't agriculture universities and research centers doing the same work you're trying to do in your company?
I could not get your question right. I think you have to just...
I will repeat it.
Yes.
Aren't agriculture university and research centers doing the same work you're trying to do in your company?
They are trying to do what happens. Most of the universities or the research scientists, they have a mandate from the top, and also they have limitations also. I feel that if industries and research scientists or research organizations collaborate holistically to find out the problems of the product, making of a product also, that's what we have done in Huntin. The problem is repeat research is happening rather than solving the problem. If a problem is not solved by a particular thing, a particular product, a particular strain, a particular chemical, why to spend money over again and again? If a problem is solved by, for example, if Huntin is saying that we are solving the problem, test it, see it and compare it. So this is what we say, industry and research organizations all should go in hand for the betterment of the economy. Otherwise, what will happen? Our resources are limited and we are losing our resources. All the research scientists are doing research on the taxpayers' money that you and me are paying right now. So it is just that point we are taking concern right now.
Okay. What advice will you give to a young student wanting to become an entrepreneur like you?
It is always think positive and never sell a product. Just solve the problem.
Okay. We have few participants from your side also. I had asked them to post queries. I'll just check out if there are some questions from this side. Okay. We have a question from one Mr. Jayesh Patil, sir. What is the favorable temperature of nematodes?
Sir, actually what happened? This question, if you get the answer that the conditions of nematode growing conditions, you see in every crop from, if for example, if you are in Maharashtra, if you are in Gujarat, in every location, every season, nematode is growing. For example, in okra, we have seen in July. In potato, we will see in the November, December, January. After January, February, we will see in another crop. So point is, conditions are everywhere, every time, because sometimes in the night, sometimes in the day, or sometimes the whole day and night, they will get the favorable conditions. The major problem with the farmers is that they do not see the problem as a bigger challenge. They always jump in when the problem gets out of their head. So it is not to get in more research of how they are multiplying. It is, they have to multiply their profits. For that, they need to try the product in the field and solve it. Because this is the question we can answer, but it is a very lengthy process.
Okay. Let me check if we have any further questions. Don't see any further questions, sir. Thank you very much. We have now completed the round of questions. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we would like to thank Mr. Nitin Singhal for the talk and for answering all the questions in detail. I also like to thank all the participants in this meeting. This meeting will now be closed.
Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome, sir.